All right, so today I want to talk about Quake Duel. Quake Duel is a really engaging, competitive one versus one FPS game mode in which there is a 10-minute time limit, and the player with the most frags at the end of that time limit wins. So when you die, you respawn somewhere on the map, and the other person will get a point. This is going to continue until the end of the 10 minutes. Players have access to the entire map, and they also have weapons to do damage and certain item pickups to restore health and armor. And while most people think of Duel as this game mode in which people are going to be, out aiming their opponent, Duel is really based on item control and stack, map knowledge, and positioning. So let's talk about those three things real quick. So first, item control and stack. The first thing to know is that there are certain items that give you health and armor. The biggest ones are the mega health, which is going to give you plus 100 health to your health bar and overstacks the base value of 100. So if I pick it up, it's going to be 156. I had 56 HP to begin with. The heavy armor, on the other hand, which is typically on the other side of the map, this is going to give you 100 armor to your stack. And again, it will overstack if you have more than 100 armor. Beyond this, there are a few light armors that you're also going to want to know about. So I'm just going to take some damage here, so that way I have a little bit less. The light armors look like this green shield, and they give about 50 armor. Actually, they give exactly 50 armor each. All of these four major items, or these three major items, respawn every 30 seconds in Quake Champions. So if I pick up this mega health at 322 or 323, the next time it will spawn will be 3 minutes and 53 seconds. And same goes for the heavy armor. If I come down here on Awoken, pick it up at 332, so that's going to come up at 302. Now, these items determine basically how much HP you're going to have going into the fight and if you can take the fight or not. All of the action that happens on the map should be determined by these items. The best Quake players in the world are actually timing these items exactly to the second. So they know exactly if they're coming into this room at what time it's going to spawn, and they may be perfectly timing their strafe jumps with when that item actually appears or when these little armors appear. Beyond this, you also want to pay attention to some things like the 25 health HP bubble. So if I damage myself a little bit here, let me go get some rockets. So 25 health HP bubbles are also very important. And in Quake Champions, we have something else called the vials. So if we use our ability, you want to pick those up. Beyond this, you also want to learn where all the weapons are on the map, and we'll talk about that in a separate video. So in terms of, we covered item control and stack. Let's talk about map knowledge. Knowing exactly where all the different things are, where all the different power-ups are, all the HP bubbles, the major items, and so on and so forth, right, is really important. And you also want to know the fastest way to get to those major items or to those weapons. This map knowledge is actually way more important than thinking about aim, especially at the beginning of the game. If you're lost on the map, an enemy will exploit that, and they will make sure that you feel a lot of pressure because they're going to be exactly where you don't want them to be, and they're going to be out positioning you at every moment. So speaking about positioning, let's talk about positioning. We want to think about things. We want to think about having high ground because that's going to give us the most vision of the map, and being in safe positions where you won't get hit. You don't want to take damage when you don't want to take damage. So that allows you to take fights on your own terms. If I'm running into this room and I know I want to take this engagement, then I'm going to feel confident, and that's going to help me in that engagement. If I don't feel confident and my opponent is just rushing me down, I'm not going to feel confident to take that fight. Now, there are some nuances there, but we'll get into that in another video. All right? Quake Duel is probably the game mode that demands the most out of you, but it will also make you it will probably help you improve the most in Quake and also mentally because it demands so much of your decision making. So for example, should I take this fight right now? What impact will that fight have on the next 30 seconds of the game? If I take this path in particular, will my opponent beat me to the item, or should I go somewhere or am I going to be there earlier so that I can take the item instead of them? am I going to have the correct weaponry to engage my opponent? For example, right now, I don't have a railgun. So can I take this fight? Well, maybe I can take it with the machine gun, right? But if they have a railgun and I'm less than 80 HP, I'm now railable. So they could kill me in one shot, right? So all of these things start to, you know, give us choices here to make when we're making our decisions in Quake. And that's what makes it so difficult. The game of Quake is also something that has been around for a really, really long time, and players have spent the past 3 decades trying to figure it out. So while that is intimidating, I don't want that to scare people into learning Quake. I myself am not a very, very, very experienced Quake player, so I think it's just something that is really, really fun, and we need more people on the ladder in order to push the game of Duel further along. So I encourage you to hop on the ladder and try it out. It's really fun, and don't feel discouraged if someone with years of experience is beating you out right now. It's okay. We've all been there. Even the best of the best have started somewhere. And you're going to build that experience over time. The reality is, the more players we have on the ladder, the better it's going to be for all of us, because there are going to be more people with so many different levels of experience playing the game. And that's what we really want. Remember, knowing the map and the items is first. Don't worry about the shooting. Just even ignore your opponent at some point. Just focus on, hey, where's that heavy armor? Where's that mega health? Where are those HP bubbles? And we'll talk about that more in the next video. Catch you guys later.